Hello, everybody. I'm also doing another segment today on United States Steel Corp for 2018 for this upcoming week and from Friday's close. So, first off, let's start off with basic information. Ticker is X, is primarily traded on the NASDAQ. Current price is $44.75. 10-day average volume is 12.55 mil. 52-week high and low is 18.55 on the low end and 45.44 on the high end. Next earning date is 4/23/2018. Ratios and profitability. Earnings per share is $2.18. Price per earnings is $20.53. Revenue is 12.250 mil. Gross margin is 11.31%. Net profit margin is 3.16%. Return on equity is 13.84%. Ex-dividend date 2/08/2018. Dividend amount 5 cents per share, which is not awesome, but at least they still give a dividend right now. So first off, what I want to start talking about, what changed on Friday's close that it was up, I believe, like 14 something of a percent. Well, we did have some huge volume of 38,757 540 shares traded on the exchange on Friday's close. The sudden pop in shares was due to the Commerce Department calling on President Trump to improve huge tariffs and quotas on foreign steel and aluminum. The Commerce Department recommended a 24% global tariff on steel imports and possibly charge at least 53% on steel from over a dozen countries. They also suggested 7.7% tariff on aluminum imports and 23.5% on tariff on aluminum products from China, Russia, Hong Kong, Vietnam, and I believe Venezuela. Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary, for you people that do not know who he is, he said steel is a fact and important to U.S. national security, and the current import flows are adversely impacting the steel industry. Ross wants Trump to take immediate action on this issue. For years, China has been dumping steel on the market, and steel has been really suppressed. We have not seen U.S. steel be in a high price range ever since Bush. I believe it was like 170 at one point, and it's been crashing down ever since after we've been competing with China. And steel is really important for our economy. It is really important for the U.S. economy to grow and for U.S. companies to buy U.S. steel and to be competitive. It is hard when you're dealing with different factors in China where they get paid, their workers get paid no matter what, how much they produce. They just store the stuff in huge warehouses all the time, where it's difficult for us. We have more red tape to deal with in the U.S. But my main concern is with the price movement. So what do we have going on here? Here's a 5-minute, 1-day chart. And right now you see you have a parabolic curve and you broke all resistance going up. Massive short covering. That's what I saw as soon as this announcement came out. This is pretty big in the steel world. I mean, we had U.S. Steel running up prior in the year on Trump, and it finally faded a little bit just because U.S. Steel's earnings weren't cutting it. They lost their former CEO who got out, I believe, last May. Longhi was gone, and right now they've been doing some good stuff, and earnings have been good. So right now it looks like the worst might be over in the short term, and it's progressively possibly going higher. So right here on Friday's close, we had this massive parabolic curve consolidation phase, but then we also had a bullish uptrend right into the close. Now, I'm not really worried about here. Usually U.S. Steel on news like this, I've seen it before where it probably is going to retrace to 42.93 in the short term. But overall, I believe if you're an investor for the long term, you want to be bullish this stock. It's just it ran massive amount on Friday, and usually when you have that much gain in the stock, usually it pulls back 5 to 7%. But if you're buying for your 401k and stuff like that, I don't think you have anything to worry about for the long term. Short term might retrace a little bit, but still it has formed a bullish uptrend. So you could see right here that close right at the end. That's why I think you might get a pullback at the beginning of tomorrow morning, but I think it could bounce off 43, 42, or like I said, 42.93. This is the line in the sand I want to watch for the week. I do not want it to break down between or below 42.93. So right here I have a weekly 1-year chart. And this is, I believe, there's the bad earnings report in May where I believe it went down like 27%, one of the worst times ever since it was public. And it bottomed out right around here. And slightly crappy uptrend, but right here is what I'm watching. Right now I formed this upward channel and it is definitely bullish. So if we want continue to break out, I think it can test its 52-week high and break it. I would like to see it go above 50 in the short term in the next 2 months, which I definitely think it's possible. Only concerns I would have if their earnings are bad in April, that we have to watch this 30-80 cents level, just because if it breaks below this key area, then you might form a downtrend in the short term. But like I said, all worry set aside, I believe that we're going to be seeing upper price movement here into the 50 range, at least in the short term. And then, like I said, after earnings and stuff like that, we'll worry about that 30-80 range. But for trading purposes, buy. So that's why I gave it 4 stars out of 5. Fundamentals are changing. If Trump actually comes out and, they actually do these things that the Commerce Department actually, suggested, that's huge for U.S. Steel. Now, if Trump drops the ball and doesn't do this, then guess what? That 30-80 level is going to come a lot sooner. So right now we're in a speculative phase where we're hoping that our government actually steps up and does this, because if it is, U.S. Steel is going to be a hot stock, and you actually can see it probably go much higher. And I believe J.P. Morgan still is in it and aggressively buys here and there. So company's not going anywhere. It's I think the worst days of it's over, unless we drop the ball in the United States, which hopefully right now things are good. Economy's cranking up and people might actually step up and protect U.S. Steel and other U.S. steel companies. So that's why I gave it 4 stars out of 5, and hopefully you found this helpful, and good luck to you.